Hey guys, from 195, recording live from the local county prison cell. I had some time. But before I get into what I'm doing today, which, come to think of it, I just forgot which fight I was gonna do today. Excuse me a second. Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind. Forget what I just said. Before I get into that, though, there's something that I'm guessing some people are gonna ask. Did I know that Iron Man is confirmed to be in the next death battle? Yes, I did. Hence my mentioning it. I didn't know that going into it. I didn't know that when they were releasing it, but on Facebook a couple days ago, they just revealed that they were going to have Iron Man in the next death battle. First of all, I think we have already a pretty big list of comic book characters that we've had in. So, it's, like, I'm not saying there's any category we need in more, but, because if you take video game characters, they completely outshine the comic book characters, unless you consider the Ninja Turtles a group of comic book characters, then I suppose you could say that. Maybe they don't, then, but, I mean, and plus, Iron Man, okay, Iron Man's cool and everything, but I don't think he needs to be in, sorry, my finger's all wrapped up because it got fucked up today, so. I don't think Iron Man needs to be in, I don't think it's so desperate that he gets in, right? So basically I was thinking, son of a bitch, they're gonna put him against somebody that I just know that I'm gonna hate who they put him up against. Because really, there's not that many people I would want them to put Iron Man up against. As a matter of fact, I can't really think of anybody. So, yeah, that's what my finger looks like. I did not mean to flash that in front of the camera, but yeah, that's what it looks like. Sorry. There's not that many people I want them to put Iron Man against, but I can see a few things happening. They could put him against, the Guyver. They could put him against Green Lantern. I've heard that a lot. They could put him against Mega Man, Mega Man X. I've heard somebody say Urza Scarlet, but fuck that guy. Not Urza, I mean, fuck the guy who mentioned it. Urza's not a guy. The best out of all of these would either be, or they could go really cliche and put him against, Steel from DC, but here's the thing. How much of a fan base does Steel have? Or they could do, a Lex Luthor sort of thing. They could do hell, I would love to see David Xanatos in a death battle, but, against Iron Man. Anyway, point being, they could do a lot with Iron Man. The only people I would think this would be good for would be maybe putting him against either Green Lantern or Mega Man X. Or I'll just call him X. And better if it were Green Lantern, but I don't think they're gonna put him against Green Lantern. And it's not up for debate, it's not like a poll or anything, they already have him, they're just gonna announce it if they get so many retweets on Twitter about it. If it were Green Lantern, I wouldn't care for the episode all that much, but I'd prefer it over X. The reason being, because Mega Man would be put in, right? A death battle. And if Mega Man's gonna be put in a death battle against anyone, it would be Astro Boy. X is just an advanced version of Mega Man. I don't want to watch the advanced version of a character put in a death battle before the less advanced version of it. And when I say that, I don't mean like... No, I mean like I don't want a character who can do everything another character can do, but more, put in a death battle before a character who can do less, like only less things than that character can, you know? Like, if we put Gohan and Superboy in a death battle, that's different from Goku Superman because, you know, those characters can do completely different things. Those characters can do things that Superman and Goku can't. So anyway, yeah, that's just my answer to that about the whole Iron Man in a death battle thing. That's not what we're talking about. I didn't mean to get off track that much, but... Okay, let's just go right into today's fight. Today's fight is going to be Cervantes versus Spinal. Cervantes from Soul Calibur, Spinal from... Ow, I just snapped with that finger. Ow! Spinal from Killer Instinct, sorry. That really sucked. Snapping with this hand from now on. Ooh, that sounded good. Anyway, yeah, it's another Soul Calibur Killer Instinct fight. This is a little... I mean, newer Spinal is badass. Cervantes has sort of always been badass. And we're assuming it's dead Cervantes, or undead Cervantes in this case, because, I mean, the theme of the fight would be zombie pirates. Let's go over this quickly, because I do not have a lot of time after that whole intro thing. So, Cervantes. Former, well, father of Ivy Valentine, biological father at least. Very, very, feared pirate, you know, bandit outlaw across the land and all that shit. Very feared in the games due to his swords that have guns in the handles, which, you know what? I will give them credit. It is hard to make a gun and a sword be one thing. Final Fantasy has taught us that it does not always work. Ruby and Power Rangers has taught us that it definitely can work. And Cervantes is one of the definitely can work sort of guys. So, yeah. I believe there's some sort of magic element to him as well. Again, not incredibly well versed with Cervantes, but this dude is a fucking beast. He is at least superhumanly strong. Like, I mean, I don't want to say he's like, you know, can lift ships or some shit, but he impales people on those swords and swing and throws them around like they're not even fucking there. Not to mention the fact that he's got guns there. There's definitely a magical element to him because he's basically able to like control the bullets telekinetically, I think. But let's talk about Spinal. Originally, Spinal's bio just said, you know, he died over 2,000 years ago and he was a very brave and he was a great warrior. They never specified. But he's supposed to be a pirate / Viking, and 2,000 years ago was very much before the pirate Viking era, so yeah. Well, the Vikings, no, but the pirates, yes. So yeah. Oh wait, no, yeah, the Vikings came in like the 1100s, never mind. Fuck that. It's not a history lesson, whatever. But in the sort of, his image design and all that and everything in the redo he's like a warrior god. I prefer that. A warrior god. Not to mention that he is covered in he has ship parts coming out of him. And his shield is Cthulhu's head shrunken and stabbed onto a piece of wood. Which, by the way, maintains the power of Cthulhu on it. So, because we see its eyes glowing and shit. So apparently Spinal can make, flaming skulls a la Shang Tsung, but instead of firing out of his hands, they just sort of float there and fly at you. And now he can make fucking, skeleton limbs come out of the ground and shit like that. So, Spinal's definitely got a magic element to him. In terms of better fighter, I'm definitely saying Cervantes. In terms of power, in terms of, magic, I'm gonna go with Spinal. But this is definitely, I think this will more than likely be a fight more than just a, casting fight or something. This is going to be a fight that actually requires, battling. And if that's the case, the shit I've seen Cervantes do, if you look at his critical finish and his critical edge, and, well, not so much his critical edge, but if you look at his critical finish and some of his more complicated moves in Soul Calibur 4, this guy can fucking go. This guy's got some power behind him. So, I think he'd be able to at least match Spinal's magic. I think Spinal's definitely got more magic at his disposal, but Cervantes will be able to keep up with him. And definitely outperform him in terms of fighting, because I think he's just... first of all, Spinal's just a skeleton. Not that much durability to that. Plus, there's the fact that, Cervantes is a lot bigger than Spinal, and definitely, I'd say a lot stronger. I'm running out of time, so I'm just gonna lay it down. I'm gonna go with Cervantes. Plus, it's a cooler name. Anyway, Verblender95, see you.